All right, we're back with a See It Played video of the Battle of Bicocca, which is from the game Crossbows and Cannon, which is part of the Royalist and Roundhead series. It is the Spanish Papal side's turn, player turn, and basically the front line here is they want Leiva, Colonna, Pescara, and Frunsburg are all under stand orders, so they're defending in place. You can still move one hex with a stand order, but essentially they're defending here, and this side wants to get Sforza up with his force, get them up and into the fight as quickly as possible. So a quick look at a leader counter. We have Colonna, name, symbol. The color orange corresponds to his entire formation. He has one asterisk in the upper right, which shows that he is a leader, not an overall leader. Basically, he's a formation commander. Then we have 5, 4, and +1. The 5 is his command value or ability. What do they call it? Well, his command ability. Command characteristic. Command ability. 4 is his command span in hexes, and +1 is his command bonus, which is used in melee. All right, so at the start of the movement phase, we're going to check for out of command. So we're going to use that command span. Frunsburg here has a command span of 4. So all of his units here, the purple ones, are within command radius. None of these skirmish units paying attention to command span. They don't follow commands, so they don't matter. And obviously over here, Colonna has his units within command radius. Pescara has his units. That's the brown formation here. Leiva, the blue formation over here, behind the artillery on the Spanish Papal right. They're all within command span of Leiva, but Leiva has a command span of 3, a little less than Colonna, for example, that we looked at before. And in the Spanish Papal rear here, Sforza has this kind of, light tan color. His units are within command span, and these are all skirmish units. So no units are out of command. If they were, we'd go ahead and mark them with an out of command marker. All right, so again, we'll quickly do some moving. So all of these guys, as I said before, under stand orders. Under stand orders, they can move 1 hex, no more than 1 hex. I don't see the artillery here are already in the sunken road. The skirmish units here are already in the sunken road. Yeah, I'll leave Pescara in the front there. The artillery here, they couldn't move up anyways because they're skirmish units. They cannot move into a combat unit zone of control. Leiva is still back here. I'm not sure. I'm leaving these guys where they are. I don't think you want to pack too closely, because negative things happen when you can't retreat. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to move Sforza up. Sforza, again, remember, Sforza is under a reserve order. So they can move up to their full movement allowance, but they cannot move basically within or closer than 5 hexes to an enemy unit. So they basically look like, considering, was it Lescun here, as the closest enemy unit to Sforza's formation here, basically roughly a line, like that. So looking at a line like that, they can't get closer to the French. So basically they have a whole nother move, easily one whole move before before they start getting in the vicinity of French units, and then we need to look at changing his order to something else. So we'll do one more full move, and then we'll look at changing his order. We can't change his order during this player turn anyways. It's only at the start of the game turn, but that's what we'll be looking at doing. So basically, Sforza's formation moved up pretty much as far as they could. Well, actually, I think they did do a max move up. They're basically heading to get inside this natural fortified area in the center of the map, bounded by the ditch and sunken road. So we're going into the combat phase. Combat phase is broken up into first fire combat and then melee. So the first part of that, the fire combat, you always do defensive fire first, followed by offensive fire. So since it's the Spanish Papal player turn, defensive fire is French fire. Then the Spanish Papal army does its offensive fire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right down the line and conduct fire. Nothing in the rules tells you the order. I do believe it's completely up to the player, the order. Every once in a while, I think fire order may matter, depending on, potential retreats, blocking retreats, etc. But I think in most cases, it's not decisive. I'm going to zoom in here again so that all of the values and all the details can be observed clearly. So I'm just going to start with the French right and travel down the line. All the units that have asterisks after their combat values have range fire capability. So these heavy cavalry here, they have combat strengths of 2, but no asterisks. They do not have range fire capability. Real easy. So this unit has a combat value of 5 followed by asterisk. So this unit has range fire capability. In fact, the CB next to the the little infantry icon there means it's a crossbow, which you need to execute your fire combat. So fire is going to fire on the artillery here. It's the target. Count the range. 1, 2, 3. 3 hexes. When I look at the range determination table under crossbow, 3 hexes away is considered long range. And the only thing relevant here is that the artillery is in the sunken road. Okay, the sunken road under the terrain effects chart shows -1 under fire as a defensive modifier. So already when the French crossbowmen there fire, already we're subtracting 1 from this die roll just for the terrain. Other than that, we're just rolling on the long range. Oops, that was a 3. The long range column of the fire combat results table. 3 -1 for the sunken road is 2, which is an easy miss. So that crossbowman firing at the artillery in the sunken road there, miss. Now we'll go to this crossbowman. They're also going to, like before, I think, crossbowman is going to try to take out this artillery unit because this artillery unit already has a step loss. It's the same 3 hexes away as long range. The target is in the sunken road, so it's -1. Yep, roll a 3 again. -1 is 2. Miss. Okay. Now we'll jump over. Now we're back to our arquebusier units in the center. 6 remaining ones. They're going to try to, to maximum extent possible, consolidate their fire. So, but again, don't have to predetermine fire. So we'll just start here. This arquebusier unit here fires 2 hexes away at the genitors in the open. But 2 hex range for arquebusier is medium range, but no modifier. Another 3, and that is a miss at medium range. So I'll just keep going right down the line. 6 at medium range is a morale check. So again, like before, I think I recorded this. So I think that was the 3rd unit, right? Or was that the 2nd unit? Man, I can't believe I'm free. All right, I'm going to say that was the 2nd unit. 2nd unit got a morale check on the target, but we're still firing against the same target, so we continue on. So the 3rd arquebusier unit, 2, miss, and the last one here, a 1. Okay, so again, 4 arquebusier units fired at the same target. Altogether, they only got 1 morale check. The Genitor unit would not roll for more than 1 morale check anyways for this phase, fire phase. All right, so he rolls a 2 and easily passes its morale check because it has a morale of 8 there. And that's that. So now we go to this arquebusier unit firing at this Genitor in the open. 6, morale check. Yep, morale check, but got 1 more arquebusier unit trying to hit the 8. It's morale check still. So don't add anything because he already has a morale check against it during this phase. Now we are going to try the mounted arquebusier unit firing it, but because they're mounted, they fire on the long range column and they roll a 4, so it's a miss. Okay, so again, 3 units fired at that Genitor unit in the open, and altogether only 1 morale check. Oh, 9. He fails. All right, so he rolled a 9. His morale is 8. It's the 8 right there. Well, 9, that is higher than that number, so he fails his morale check, and now he specifically has to he's retreated 3 hexes and has a route marker put on him. So I don't think, okay, so the question is, can the Genitor unit retreat through the arquebusier skirmish units here? And I don't think so, because I think where is it? Wow, weird. Okay, that pause was not necessary. I don't think the Genitor unit can pass through the arquebusier skirmish units there. But I did want to start recording again because this is somewhat related to an earlier retreat. There is errata out there that helps clarify that if possible, so I'm going to go through all the situations here. This Genitor unit has to retreat 3 hexes. So first of all, he's routed. We know we're going to put one of those. Markers on. Okay, we know he's routed, and he has to retreat 3 hexes. He could, by the way, let's see. So, for example, okay, how do you put these things together? Okay, could he retreat here? He could retreat here because this French skirmish unit does not exert a zone of control, but he can't retreat here because he's actually moving closer to these enemy combat units, and he has another option. It's the exact same deal with this hex here. He cannot retreat here because this. I'm sorry. He's not going to retreat here into this enemy unit zone of control because he has this option. I'll put it that way. I think that's the right way to put it. But anyways, so he's going this way. 1, he cannot pass through these guys. So 2, and then he's going to go here because he's increasing his distance from that enemy unit. Turn him around as well in the direction of his route. Retreat. There. Okay. What I'm getting at is that there is a errata out there, and the errata helps clarify that as you retreat, if possible, you have to increase your distance from enemy units. Okay. Final French defensive fire with the artillery unit at this artillery unit in the sunken road there, and missed. All right, now for offensive fire, that's the Spanish Papal side. I'm just going to go right down the line, conduct fire, and I think I'll just come back if there are any results from the offensive fire. All right, so this Spanish Papal artillery got a morale check against the French crossbowmen here. So the question is, if they fail their morale check and they have to rout, they're a skirmish unit. Can they pass through a normal combat unit during their retreat? All right, so the French crossbowmen passed their morale checks, so they're fine, but the rule that I was looking for earlier is right in front of my face. A combat unit. Now, in this case, I think combat unit includes... includes skirmish units. So a combat unit may not move through another combat unit unless the combat unit moving is a skirmish unit. I think with that rule, that means that those crossbowmen could retreat through that combat unit, I think. This artillery unit fired at this arquebusier unit, forced it to make a morale check, which it passed. So the Spanish Papal Army didn't have any more successful offensive fire. Then we go to the melee phase. The melee phase is only for the active player. The attacker may conduct melee attacks against adjacent enemy units. There are no adjacent units except for the artillery down here. And I don't think they can initiate. They're a skirmish unit. I don't think they can initiate melee against this heavy cavalry unit. So then we're going to go to the rally phase. All right, so the rules are very clear. Skirmish units cannot initiate melee. All right, so the Spanish Papal player are going to conduct a rally phase. They have one unit that is currently routed. Right here, the cavalry unit, the Genitors that retreated recently. So these are the conditions. The unit is within the command span of his formation leader Pescara up here, 1, 2, 3. Pescara, command span of 3, or within the command span of the overall leader. Remember, the Spanish Papal Army doesn't have an overall leader, so just forget that. And they are not in an enemy ZOC. They check morale. And I've gone, I believe that's not a may, I believe that is that they do check morale. It's not a voluntary thing. So how we do this is we're going to roll for his morale. The only thing to remember, which I didn't catch early on in playing the series, is routed units forced to check morale have a +1 added to their die roll. So let's just roll. There we go. Oh, wow, this is a perfect example. Perfect example. So they rolled an 8. Current morale is 8. Normally this would pass because it's equal to or less than morale passes. However, because he's already routed, you have to add 1 to the die roll, which makes it 9, which makes it exceed its current morale, which means it actually failed its morale check. So there we go. So what happens is that they continue to retreat 3 hexes, moving further from the nearest enemy unit. Yeah. Okay, so otherwise they would have recovered, removed the route marker, and everything would have been great. All right, so the nearest enemy unit is this one. 1, 2, 3. So that's certainly 1. And then I think it would be 2 because of this unit, and then I guess 3 there. All right, so he retreats 3 more hexes, keeps his routed marker, and that's that. That was the Spanish Papal rally or recovery phase.